peace, love. I am genuinely aware with divine introspection. It flows within me, in my mind, body, and soul, and I feel it right now. I am Gotti. Appreciate you. Much love to those of you at Emotions Made Easy. We have clients flying in by the boatload. It's so much going on. It's so Emotions Made Easy has become so abundant in relevance to helping clients with their emotions, helping people. Uh, so shout outs to the clients. I've had so many conversations and I've been actually sitting down, and a lot of these conversations have been helping me find myself. So, thank you guys for helping me find myself by investing your money into beautiful phone conversations and voice note conversations and achieving what you thought you couldn't before the call. Shout outs to Fire Safety Made Easy. Uh, Study guides are being sold rapidly. Get yours now if you're trying to go from security to fire safety and learn the hacks. I was able to pass that shit myself and I learned a lot. So now I'm giving back genuinely. That's how you're supposed to do it. When you're abundant, you have to give back. And when I say have to, I mean it's part of your instinct. It's part of your the primal agenda. It's like the idea of you getting so much that you have you just have the urge to give back. Yeah. So shout outs to that. Varsity is coming soon. I'm creating right now. Music videos coming soon. More music dropping. My next song called Perfect. I'm dropping that in a few. Shout outs to you guys. Much love and much peace. And I'm going to teach you how to understand yourself. What we're going to be unlocking today is the idea of creating a self identity through the mantra that you heard me speak of earlier, right? What is the power of affirming your true self? Affirming your true self empowers you to embrace your authentic identity and strengths, leading to increased self confidence and self acceptance. What I've realized since I've been doing this mantra, I learned this mantra. Shout outs to Nero. I give you the source. Nero Knowledge, the guy with the do rag and the glasses, amazing, amazing energy, has been dropping beautiful videos and going up. Shout outs to Nero. So I've been tuned in with Nero, and he talked about this book called The Science of Being. You should definitely check it out. Check it out. When I read the book, I had flipped to a page, and this is the universe, where it said if you wanted to refuel, you could actually say, I am the universal energy. It flows within me, and I feel it right now. I just decided to add my own things to it because you should understand that we don't do tradition and religions here. We only use that to get to the truest religion, not true religion. The idea is the truest religion is understanding yourself and self-educating yourself. The Gnostics knew about that, which they call the idea of activating knowledge of self within self, gnosis, right? So the mantra helps you. You have to understand you never get what you want, you get what you are. So in order for you to become something, you have to initiate it. You have to understand that I am the creator. And it doesn't look like you saying you're intellectualizing the idea. It's you tapping in and unpacking yourself so you can figure out what's important from what's not. That's the whole idea. So affirming your true self empowers you to embrace your authentic identity and strengths. Let me tell you something. The worst thing you could ever be is a follower. I need you to understand that because you've given up the idea that you are the creator, and now you're giving somebody else control as you control the action of you giving control. It's like you're working against your spirit. Everybody has fingerprints and each of them are unique. So down to the physical aspect of your fingertips, it's unique. So not everybody is the same. What I'll say is this: you have to follow to lead. But don't be, if you're following and you're seeing that it's coming, it's leading to your demise, it is time to unpack and unlock. You have to self-reflect. You have to be self-aware. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it empowers you to embrace your authentic identity and strengths. A lot of us don't understand our strengths. We only understand our weakness. We think that the best way to be strong is to understand how weak we are and what we're weak at. I'm here to tell you, weakness is the unimportant things. You need to focus on your strengths. If you're going to look at your weakness, you need to learn from your weakness and build on it so it can turn into a strength. Unpack your weakness, because we're going to work with the shadow side. I never like to shun it, right? You want to work with the idea that you look at your weaknesses, you want to look at them now and unpack them. Why am I not this? Why am I not that? Why am I this? Why am I that? Why am I not insecure? How to create security? How to create confidence? Why am I not an injustice collector? How do I forgive? What does forgiveness look like? What is the etymology of the word forgiveness? You start to look into things like this and look into the definitions. And now we're not just using words and casting spells because, spelling spells, right? So you start to look at your weaknesses, and that's where it starts. You judge all day. A lot of us trauma bond through judging others. But I'm going to teach you how to judge today, the healthy way. Learn how to speak on others because you speak on yourself. Learn how to be open-minded. That's how you're supposed to judge. Oh, look at this motherfucker. He not wearing that jacket right. Okay. Well, if you're not open to asking or open to letting go of the idea of him wearing the jacket wrong, what are you doing? If you're holding on to that, now you're just collecting data. And then when you start projecting hate, because maybe you like the jacket, but you never unpacked it. So now it's turned into jealousy and envy. This is why you have to learn how to judge with an open mind. If you don't judge with an open mind and you judge with a closed mind, you're only sabotaging yourself. Leading to increased self-confidence and self-acceptance. When you actually start to take a look at yourself and you start to embrace your weaknesses, because spirit will naturally turn it into strengths. So you want to understand that your spirit cannot process negative. Understand that. Let's prove it. Don't think about an elephant. Don't think about Diddy. Pretty sure you did. Rather you think about the elephant than Diddy. But anywho, it's the idea that we still don't fully understand that we're not meant to live a life of negative. You're supposed to transcend that. Negative is supposed to be seen because you've accepted naturally once you can see it and you start to unpack, to unlock. Once you see it, now it's time to transcend that understanding. This is how you become the I am, right? How can focusing on creating your own identity lead to fulfillment? Focusing on creating your own identity can lead to fulfillment by allowing you to live in alignment with your values, passions, and true desires. A lot of you motherfuckers are chasing cars. You're chasing the new Pradas, and best believe I love me some Pradas, all black or cranberries with the straps, right? But what I'll say is this: Pradas does not define who I am. From a young age, right, since I was able to get to the bag, I went to Brownsville Academy. I was given a shout outs to Brownsville Academy and Miss Robinson. Very beautiful school. I was able to get a job. You know, growing up in Brownsville, my mom ain't really have shit. But shout outs to Mom Dukes for actually manifesting the idea of giving me and my sister separate rooms. And she did that as a single mom. So shout outs to her. Love you, Mom. Appreciate you. Shout outs to my baby, Asani, and my beautiful lady and my dog, since I'm sending sentiments. What I will say is this. Brownsville Academy was amazing. I ended up getting a job through their internship program. We are the best. Miss Robinson used to repeat that every fucking day, and she had us repeating it too, or we had ourselves. And it was a beautiful mantra, like I told you about the mantra in the beginning. You're constantly saying we are the best. You start to build that unified aspect of us being the best from a we perspective. If you flip we, you'll get me. So there's no we without me. There's no me without we, right? That's a bar, right? Shout out to Nero. That's his line. But that's profound. That's deep. But the idea is this. When it comes to when I had got to the idea of getting some money, I started to create my own style. I was never the type to want to follow others, but I always understood. Like, I went through a time where I left high school and I went to live with my grandma, and me and my mom was going through a rough patch, and she didn't give me back my nudies, my Benjis. All I had was my Under Armour sneakers that I had got from, the basketball team from Brownsville Academy. And I mixed this stuff. I had a vest with patches on it from Huayu. I don't know if that's still around, but shout outs to Huayu. I mixed that, and I would just wear whatever I wanted without having my Pradas handy. So I started to realize that it's not about the clothing, it's about the energy. When you start to realize that it's you're the shiniest object in the universe, you'll realize that shiny object syndrome is no longer a thing. So I noticed that all these materialistic things just add to me feeling great, but it does not make me feel great. Me feeling great is what manifests these things. They're just a byproduct of me being great and me affirming. So let's just say, for example, when I affirm, let's say if I feel like I need some money, because you have to become these things to get it. So I am abundant. I am wealth. I am money. It flows within me because it's a frequency. It flows within my mind, body, and soul. And I feel it right now. You attract this. Law of attraction is how it works. You attract this. But back to the point, it's the energy, it's not the clothes, right? So you start to manifest spiritual desires, spiritual passions and values, and that's where it starts. A lot of us are starting from the physical and not even making it up to the spiritual. It's more about the spiritual, educating yourself mentally based on the spiritual so you can formulate that physically, right? And have a beautiful cathartic aspect of communication when describing who you are, or understanding that you have to unpack who you are spiritually, mentally, so that can naturally come out physically. You don't have to intellectualize your feelings. You just need to unpack and understand them, right? So you can create your values, passions, and your true desires. True desires. True desire is not you desiring things. It's what you naturally attract, what you've become. So if I have I have great friends. I have a beautiful lady, a beautiful baby on the way. And what I'm realizing is that I attracted that. I have a beautiful family. I have a beautiful life. I attracted that by giving gratitude to being that. You understand what I'm saying? So focusing on creating your own identity can lead to fulfillment. You'll become a lot more fulfilled when you start to understand that you are what you need. Anything that you need, you can become. Affirm it. That's it. Affirm it and let time do what it does. Time is relative, very subjective. So understand that you are divine timing. Everything happens for you, not to you, right? Why is it important to differentiate between important and unimportant information in shaping who you are? It is important to differentiate between important and unimportant information to ensure that you are shaping your identity based on what truly matters to you rather than irrelevant external influences. Some of you guys are trying to be the best Democrat. Some of you guys are trying to be the best Republican. At one point, it was one party. Who cares? A little bit of information, unimportant. But you guys are trying to be things that has nothing to do with your spirit. You're not trying to be empathetic. If you look at the state of politics and you look at Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, I'm trying to figure out if things are not working separately, when are we going to come together as a whole and create that unity? You can't spell unity without you and I, right? So, and the word separate has no I or you in it. It's like we're so focused, but then again, you have to. One thing I noticed, like when I was going to church when I was younger, I had to go through this. It brought me some type of discipline. It brought me some type of structure. It's kind of like how certain people think that they can't discipline themselves. They have to go to the army at a young age, or they have to walk into these things so they can discipline them and create some type of structure. I heard and I've seen a meme where it says a hoe's last phase is religion. If you're not aware, a woman is energy and she craves structure. That's why a lot of men are in and out of relationships because they don't know themselves enough to be structured in a relationship. That's what you want to call commitment. You get to that space where you're not on the fence, over the fence, you're right where you need to be, right? So when it comes to the idea of these unimportant things, I need you to understand that everything here, these chairs, the straw, they're just a physical creation based on the understanding of spirit and mental, and now it's in fruition. So you're craving a car, but in actuality, you don't need to because you'll attract that. It's going to come to you naturally. All these things came through history just because of, let's say, for example, you got the horse and carriage. Now we have cars. The universe was already going to attract that because positively everything is evolving. So there would be no reason for you to want a car. You don't even know what a car is around the time of you using a horse and carriage. So what I say is this: your universe wants relief in relevance to getting from to and fro. That's why the car will somewhat become created. Henry Ford, assembly line, then we have Hondas, Teslas today. But the idea is everybody's spirit wants to make things easier. So now you have these beautiful inventions coming out the woodworks because everybody's spirit is trying to make things easier, right? Now, you get to that space where you start to understand you're not the car, you're not the sneakers, you're not any of this. Your spirit is just it attracts these things. So there's no reason for you to intellectualize the idea of getting a car. No reason to. You don't have to. If that's for you, it will come to you. And obviously it is, because everybody that walks sees themselves in a car. You have to understand how simple it is. It's not that hard. But sometimes we complicate things because we want to obtain physical things with physical actions without actually understanding our spirit. So now we're in a space where we're learning to, right? Let's do another one. How can embracing your uniqueness lead to personal growth and self-discovery? Embracing your uniqueness can lead to personal growth and self-discovery by encouraging you to explore and celebrate what makes you distinct from others. Listen, you have to create your own identity because either way you put it, you do things different from people, even the people you think you're following. You're trying to be like 50 Cent. Honestly speaking, if you don't unpack the idea of 50 and you're only looking at, oh wow, look at the glitz and the glamours. Look how he was looking and I get money. Oh, he made power. I would love to do that. If you're not unpacking it, I don't know how you think you'll get there in relevance to your version of you. So let's try our best to not follow. Following people is very unimportant. You do that when you're younger. Accept it. I think it's expected because, growing up, you're looking for something to follow. You're looking for something to guide you. In the end, it will all lead back to you, no matter what, whether it's here or in the do-what. So at this point, we're at a state of mind where we're learning to understand that everything that we need, we have. Everything we need, we have. You start to realize how unique you are when you actually start to self-reflect. You don't know how unique you are because you don't self-reflect, or you reflect on the bullshit that's not actually helping you. I'm not just the fire safety director. I couldn't be. How could I? I couldn't just be that. I'm way bigger than that because my spirit existed before fire safety or the concept of fire safety existed. So stop living life as though, you're not unique. Stop living life as though you have to follow behind people that are older than you, or you're following behind entitlement, or you're following behind a false facade of happiness. Know who you really are. To be you, it doesn't cost a lot of energy. So start to look at the path. Looks very simple. It looks very relaxed. It looks very cathartic, very calm. If that's not the path and it's becoming hyperactive, hyper masculine, impulsive, I think you need to self-reflect and unpack that idea of it, because fear is false evidence appearing real. If you're afraid of who you're gonna become, or you're afraid that you might not find out who you are, it's time to take a look at who you are. Because if false evidence appearing real is what fear is, then all you have to do is find the truth behind that false evidence. Yeah?